to see this on YouTube channel here later. We'll be re-recorded to go back to for your viewing pleasure. You can catch Cane Lake Broadcasting on Facebook, and you can catch Cane Lake Broadcasting on YouTube. We've had over about 10,000 hits since the beginning of August on our football games, and so we're pretty excited about that. Sports Scoop is designed just to give you a little bit of the news hub, kind of 411 what's going on around there. And it's a non-formal show. Dropped my binoculars, it fell off. Sorry about that, but we'll get everything right as we go on. But Cane Lake Broadcasting here is a premier entity for the broadcast element for Canyon Lake High School. We are appreciative of everybody here involved, so we'll get right to the sports scoop here. Well, Canyon Lake football went down to Jourdanton and lost in a big game. It's against a very good, highly ranked team, and we'll go over that here just a little bit. I also want to touch on some other sports that is going on around Canyon Lake High School and the events and future events coming up as well. The Canyon Lake girls volleyball went down and had 3 losses in a row. They're in rebuilding season. Clemens has got the girls ginning, but district is up next. They'll play Fredericksburg tomorrow, Friday night in Fredericksburg, so keep up with them. Look for us to tweet that out as well, put it on Instagram, and we'll try to put it on Facebook as well. And so Coach Clemens has got that. Coach Clemens and her staff will be on Monday at the Coach's Corner, so you'll want to see the Coach's Corner for her interview with her coaches there, and we'll talk a little bit about that as well. And that should be a good interview. Coach Clemens is a card, and she gets down to business and has got a good staff there. A young team, the volleyball team, they are 6-10 right now, I believe, and so they'll pull that one around and come out of that dive. Really, it's all about playing district anyway, and so Canyon Lake has a good chance of making the playoffs in volleyball and coming out to into the playoffs. So anything can happen to the playoffs. So don't count our volleyball team out and those ladies over there. They work very hard at what they do. The tennis beat Bandera 16-0, 16 sets, I guess, over to nothing over Bandera. Coach Corey Mickey's got that going and ginning along. It's a reputable sports for Canyon Lake High School now. And, we really didn't have a sports team too much to speak of in the last several years. But Coach Corey Mickey has got that thing going in the right direction. And knowing him, he'll continue to have that thing go in the right direction as well. Well, the Jourdanton freshmen did get their first. Canyon Lake beat the Jourdanton freshmen for the first time to get their first victory. A big day for them as they beat them here in Canyon Lake. And the JV followed up and had a big victory as well. Canyon Lake JV is on a roll. They are a good squad. A lot of sophomores on there, mixed in with a few juniors. But keep an eye on that JV squad as they move into varsity next year with the other sophomores that are already there in that sophomore class. So JV winning yesterday or last Thursday. It's been a long week, man. Long week, but they've gone in and improved their record. So good squad there. King Lake is definitely on the rise in its sports, and basketball's coming up, baseball's coming up, softball's coming up. We got track and field coming up in the spring, so a lot of things going to go on. But let's go back to last Friday night. King Lake went into Jourdanton, played the Indians. They're ranked team 3A, big boys. A lot of people get confused with who should beat who just because they're based on 3A, 4A, 5A, 6A. That's not the case whatsoever. It's just the best 11 men on the field. A lot of people have to get that out of their head, okay? Canyon Lake got their tails whipped when they were 4A in the beginning of 2009, 10, 11, 12 by a lot younger schools. I mean, not a lot younger, but schools that were, 3A, 4A, D2 type things. So it has nothing to do with what the A is. It has 2A, 3A, 4A. It has to do with the best 11 man on the field at the time. But Canyon Lake went in there against a very good team, a passing offense, and they throw the ball. Team's already thrown over 1,300 yards in 4 games, and the Indians beat Canyon Lake. You can't win a football game when you turn the ball over 4 times. Not going to happen. And I think Canyon Lake was really the better team, not just because I'm all, into Canyon Lake, as everybody knows, as much as you are out there watching this. But Canyon Lake punted a ball right into a man's belly, and he scored a touchdown. Canyon Lake fumbled the ball. Canyon Lake lost the ball on the goal line on a nice run by Shane Moss, and he'll learn from that. But we all do our things when we're sophomores learning about varsity football. Just chalk that one up as a learning experience. But the defense, make sure the offense, they did a good job, I thought. But hey, when you turn the ball over that many times, you make your own mistakes, key penalties, put us back at first and goal. Then it was first and 20 on two back-to-back, offsides. And so you got to live and learn, and it's non-district, and that's why we play those tough games in non-district, because we've got some tough games coming up in district after the bye. Don't take anything away from the Indians. They're a good team, and I tell you what, they'll go deep in the playoffs. They're all seniors on that squad, and like Coach Hooper said the other night, and I didn't realize it because I'm trying to find the game while we're broadcasting, is, man, we had 2 seniors on that football field a lot of the time. One being Patrick Allman one time was on there, and I can't remember who else was on the defense, but got a young defensive squad. Cut some routes, got some balls thrown over us. Tyler Pauly took on one of those gifted receivers in Lilly in Jordanton, and he's in the top. I think he's in top 50 receivers. He'll go somewhere if he wants to, but probably as a slot guy on a D2 school. But you got to look at those things. He thought he did a pretty good job. Lilly just made some acrobatic catches, man, just like Jeremy Green made some acrobatic catch and touchdown with the left-hand snag. So these athletes make those plays. That's why they're good, and they are hard to cover. Take it from me. Played cornerback all through high school. Played 3 years in Europe at cornerback, and I tell you, man, it's a hard position to play. You're on an island by yourself, and so now you know why Deion Sanders was so good. He could shut down a corner whole side of a field, man, and had the speed to close on it. So playing corner is a tough man's job. I'm not saying anything else but one-on-one, it's visual. People see you the one-on-one. If you miss, they score. It's a tough position to be in. I will tell you, in my opinion, a lot of people disagree, playing corner is the hardest position to play on the football field because you're going backwards. You don't know where you're going. You're facing a guy who's the speediest guy on the team probably. He knows exactly where he's going, and he's running forward. It's a hard position, trust me. You don't get the crud beat out of you every down like a lineman inside, but it is more visual to the audience when you get burnt or they get a touchdown. So anyway, enough about that. Good luck, Tyler Pauly. I know you'll turn that around here coming up for the district games. You've got some other teams to play, and they're going to have just as hard, if not harder, guys to cover out there. Overall, secondary did pretty good considering who we had for the against Jordanton, and like I said, we had some sophomores out there and some juniors who never played varsity before. And Pauly was the only guy out there in the secondary who played. Jeremy Green was out there, but he wasn't out playing the free safety or on the corners. But Jeremy Green does do a lot for our defense out there, and we're real proud to have him on there. And congratulations on the pass. On the defensive line at Jordanton, I thought we did well. Put a lot of pressure. We got some sacks. Batted balls. Ramey was in there. Maximin's in there. Herbert's in there. Guys that probably a lot of people don't know. And I wish people would watch this podcast more and learn more about what our team is. And it's pretty sad that people don't know who's on our team exactly. They just pop on a Friday night and who's that guy? You get to learn your team a little better. You appreciate the game more, in my opinion. But you'll see more of the same. So as far as going on the next week, we got a bye. Thank God. We've got some injured players who need to get better. And they will. We got, let's see, we've got Bates will get better. We've got Toich. He'll finally get 100%. Not to say he's not, but we'll bring back number 32 would be Elijah. Elijah, see if he comes back or not, what his play rate will be. Patrick Allman, he's finally getting his playing legs underneath him. He's got some little things he needs to let rest. The next 2 weeks, he'll get plenty of that this week and next. That'll be good. That'll take some pressure off of Beatrick. If Beatrick could maybe stick to just running plays on the defense, because Elijah Johnson and I said Bates should be back as well. Patrick Allman getting a lot better. That gives Coach Hooper an outside linebacker to chase down quarterbacks as well as he does. And so our defense will come back as well. Number 53 will be back, and it's good to see him get back into the lineup along with Ramey, Maxim, Herbert, and Bowers. They all had good games as well. Sean Pendleton, I meant my number 53. I'm sorry, I didn't mention his name. But Pendleton will be back. He's good to go. He's not sick. He just had to do that COVID thing. And, like I said in my last podcast, this COVID thing is real for you athletes out there dilly-dallying around on your off time, getting together, hanging out. You're just risking everything in your season for a little personal private time. And in my opinion, I think it's a little selfish, but that's your life. That's your senior year. Because if you goes down, then the team goes down. Team goes down. There's no dance. There's no band. There's nothing. So COVID can kill you like any other flu in the world. It's a deadly flu, just like any other deadly flu that's come around. But the name COVID attaching itself to you or you being around that, it will shut you down. And there's no arguments. Case in point, there's a junior high team in Comal ISD. Whole 8th grade team shut down. Seventh grade team shut down. Maybe the 8th grade team. If you don't believe it goes up to higher ranks, just ask China Spring when they got the COVID. Some of their players got quarantined, weren't even around some of the other players. Just being associated with the locker room because you're around somebody off on your weekend, shut down a game. So Lampasas did not play China Spring. One was ranked 3, one was ranked 10. It was going to be the game of the week in 4A football, but it was no more. COVID is real. Whether you like to wear the mask or not, whether you think it's silly or whether you think it's serious, it doesn't matter. Once you get labeled COVID, you're done. So it behooves these parents out here to maybe see what's more important, weekends at Bernie's or getting their team together and tell them, hey, we need to stay separate. It's your own choice. No one can tell you what to do. Some kids have been remote. Some kids are going to class. Freedom of choice. But you're more likely to be safe at school than you are dilly-dallying around on the weekends. And we've had some other teams across the state of Texas get shut down as well. I know a lot of coaches out there and I know a lot of people in teams and towns, and they're getting 2s and 3s and 5s and 6 and 7 kids knocked off their team for 2 weeks for just hanging around on a video in Sonic in local yokel town USA. I'll tell you. I'm going to tell you the towns, but it's happened. So you need to think twice about when you go out. I don't know how many players will watch this podcast, but anyway, word will get out, and be careful out there. So that's enough about the COVID. I'm going to mention it every time because it is a serious threat as we go into the bye week. Next week, we're going to play Blanco. This year, we don't have the Comal County hangover, and that's having our players go to the Comal County Fair and then trudging their way back across town over here to play Blanco. We will play Blanco in Blanco. Make no mistake. Just like you thought about Jourdanton, a lot of you did. Be honest with yourselves. Blanco's not going to be a walkover. Okay? It's 11 men on the field. They run the wing tee. Coach Toich over there is run that program well for years. He knows us. We know them. It's going to be another, bash out like Beeville. They got some talented players over there. And then after that, of course, we get into district against LBJ Austin. They've got a couple of D1 commits over there, and they're going to start their weekend this Friday night. So they'll have 2 games in one game under their belt as a refresher, so to speak, until they meet us and come to Canyon Lake. And from there, it starts district, and that's all that matters. So Canyon Lake is 4-4. If we can win the next 5 games, so we got 5. We got next 6 games. We can win the next 4 out of the next 6. We should be in the playoffs, but it'll come down to some big games against Vernon at the very end. I assure you. Before that's Lampasas. Before that's Taylor. They're in a rebuilding year. Yes, it may be an easier game, and then up from that it will be obviously Austin LBJ, and they are going to be tough, boy. A lot of skill players. So Canyon Lake Broadcasting is going to be there for that, and we'll let y'all know as much as we can as time goes on. I want to thank our sponsors out there, Canyon Lake Broadcasting. I'd like to thank Steve Crisp, Chris Brown, Mike McMullen, Mike Horner, Darren Lesturgeon, our producer, obviously. But these guys donated some money so we could get some camera equipment along with Robert Moss. And on the flip side, LJ Anderson and LJ Anderson's parents donated some money to Canyon Lake Broadcasting. You buy the equipment, and I know that the game looked a little different against Jourdanton. That's the kind of image and what it takes to put those things together and do it. But like I said, Darren Sturgeon, our producer, been in the basement all week doing that and getting things together. and TJ Bain was the camera operator and will be our camera operator for this season. And the hats off to him for helping us do that. That's the kind of game we want to bring you. It was our first time. We'll get a little better at the Blanco game. It will be in Blanco, though. But as the season rolls on, you can expect to see a little bit more improvements from Canyon Lake Broadcasting. We thank y'all so much for those donations in kind to allow us to get that equipment to make things happen. It takes a lot to make a broadcast happen like that. I know a lot of people have seen companies with 3 and 4 and 5 cameras. That's going to cost you about $250 per man, per camera, per game. And if you don't have the equipment, you got to get the equipment. And it's about a $7,000 outlay plus the men. So to roughly run a game with 3 or 4 or 5, at least 4 or 5 cameras, it's a $2,800, $2,500, $3,000 night event to make all that happen. Those are real costs. So our sponsors make things happen. We appreciate y'all's support out there, and of course the Comel ISD and Canyon Lake High School. So a lot going on. It's not just a button pushing and making things easy. It takes some time. But also, I'd like to thank the people over in the district for allowing to do that as well, like I just said. But mostly you, the fans, the support out there. From August 15th to September 15th, we've had over 10,000 views on our football games, our Coach's Corner, our podcast, and our news, all over news on YouTube. You can go on YouTube and look at the number of hits we've had. And here's how they do the numbers kind of in marketing with radio. They'll take one viewer and say that's 3 people watching. In other words, one viewer is going to view on. They're going to tell you, hey, there's probably 2 people with them watching. Well, we like to discount that a little bit here. I've been in this business or this side as a hobby for about 26 years. It's my 27th year. I like to keep it to a 2-to-1. So I think in my mind, somebody's watching something on the phone or on the computer. I like to think there's 2 people there. The industry would tell you 3. I'll discount it to 2. So if I had 10,000 views on YouTube on Canyon Lake Broadcasting, I can easily tell you it's been about 20,000. Some of those people are going back to view again, right? A game, interview, whatever it is. So you can think around probably 19,000 to 20,000 people have viewed it. And that's a lot of people. In the last 4 years, we've had over 57,000 people view Canyon Lake Broadcasting. We've had 126 broadcasts, and not to mention these podcasts and Coach's Corner. But it's if you add those together, it'd be 130 broadcasts to date that we've done. So we greatly appreciate our numbers are growing. Canyon Lake's getting their name out there. I'm getting a few hints from people in the bigger worlds like Dave Campbell and Gridiron Football and stuff like that. And all these other chat rooms have seen our games and saw our team. And we appreciate that. If it wasn't for you guys, we couldn't do what we like to do. And then that is to be the broadcast on for Canyon Lake High School. So appreciate it. McMullen, Chris, Brown, Moss, Anderson, we greatly appreciate all your donations to help that make it happen. So tell all your friends to watch this podcast every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock right here on YouTube. We do the Coach's Corner every Monday at 6:30 live from the weight room. And don't forget to watch those as well. A lot of good information on there. We're going to go volleyball a little bit here because we don't have a football game this week. And so we'll come back next Monday. But like I said, with Coach Clemens, and talk a little volleyball, girls sports in general, and get you familiar with some of that. But I'm going to cut this a little short since we have a bye. We appreciate everybody coming out to the games and making things happen. And I had to put my glasses on to see something there. It's old man night is catching up on me. But we appreciate everybody coming out to the games and supporting, and then the people who can't make the games. We appreciate you guys and girls and men and women for getting on and watching YouTube and making the YouTube channel a success. We are right there with the big boys and all the numbers. So thank you so much. I appreciate Darren Lesturgeon. Next time you see him, give him a hey, heads up, thank you. He's making it happen all the time with all the things that go behind. Also, LJ Anderson out there, head of the Booster Club. If you're not a member of the Booster Club, you can join for $30. They desperately need your support. as the COVID has taken away some of their booster club dollars. And we can't do some of the things we do with seating in the stands and stuff like that. But you can go to clhsabc.com. It's clhsabc.com. Join the Booster Cup for as little as $30. And we got a long season to go. We got a lot of baseball coming up. A lot of baseball. Got a lot of softball. Got a lot of track meets. We got a lot of volleyball and football still to go. It's going to be, and I didn't even say anything about basketball. So you'll know we'll be there. We'll have the videos flying around as well. Cane Lake Broadcasting is looking for some dedicated people to help out because there's only really 3 of us who run this thing. And we do have real daytime jobs, believe it or not. But we'll be talking to the school about student interaction as well as time goes on. But for right now, it is a 3-man show along with TJ doing the camera from here on out. So this is Corey Martelli with Cane Lake Broadcasting. It's the Sports Scoop brought to you by CLB. And we'll see you Monday at 6:30, the Coach's Corner. That'll be our 5th show, and we'll try to get some student athletes on there as well from the volleyball team. Take care, good night, and best wishes to everybody. Go Hawks.